I'll never forget the day I was thrown out of my own house with a pair of crutches, a bag of worn clothes, and no place to go. My name's Mariah, and I was 17 when my stepmother Sylvia slammed the door in my face. I stood there on the front porch, legs aching, heart pounding, and everything I ever owned sitting in a torn backpack on the concrete. She called me a thief, said I stole her money. I didn't. I swear on my mother's grave I didn't. But Sylvia didn't care about the truth, she just wanted me gone. Growing up, I wasn't always limping or leaning on crutches. I was a lively girl, always running around the streets of Montville, making friends, sketching dresses in my notebooks. My mom was a tailor's sweetest woman you'd ever meet. She used to say I had fingers made for fashion. My dad, Robert, was a businessman, always traveling, but he loved us in his own quiet way. When Mama passed, something in me cracked. I was only 13. I remember the way Dad hugged me at the funeral, slipping Mama's gold pendant around my neck and whispering, "She lives in you now." For a while, he tried his best, staying home, making breakfast, sitting by my bed until I fell asleep. But soon the trip started again. The house got quiet and cold. Then came Sylvia. She was beautiful, charming in the kind of way that makes people trust too quickly. Dad met her at a fundraiser. She smiled, sweet, talk soft, even took me to the park to paint when they first started dating. I actually thought she was a blessing. Dad seemed happy again. I didn't realize I was watching a mask, one that would drop the moment he left town. At first, she was just distant, then demanding. One day she slapped me across the face for buying the wrong kind of lettuce. Another, she made me clean the whole house with a fever. But when Dad came home, suddenly she was June Cleaver, asking about my school, bringing me tea, tucking my hair behind my ear like she cared. I stayed silent, every time, until the day she sent me to the market again. I was rushing, scared I'd be late and miss dinner again. So I took a motorbike, something I never did. We were almost home when a truck swerved into our lane. We crashed. I remember the pain, the blood, the burning metal pinning my leg to the road. I blacked out. Next thing I knew, I was in a hospital bed. Leg in bandages, doctors whispering about crutches, and maybe never walking right again. My stepmother sat beside me, fake tears glistening, whispering like a villain in a movie. "Don't you dare tell your father I sent you, or you'll regret it." And I believed her. When Dad came rushing into the room, I couldn't speak. Not about the truth, not about the pain. I lied, said I went to buy snacks, said no one sent me. He looked confused, but not enough to question it. Sylvia, of course, played the victim. She must have snuck out, she told him. Then she planted the final seed. I think she's seeing some boy in the neighborhood. That's where she was going. Dad's smile toward me grew colder after that. His visits shorter. Then Sylvia got pregnant. That's when everything changed. His world shifted. All the attention went to her foot rubs, late-night cravings, baby names. I became background. I told myself I was being dramatic, that he still loved me, that maybe it was just hormones and stress. But deep down I knew I was fading in his eyes. One morning after Dad left on a 2-week trip, Sylvia stormed into my room, waving an empty purse. "Where's my money, Mariah? I don't know what you're talking about." She shouted. She slapped, and before I could blink, she was dragging my bag, my crutches, even my sketchbook, and tossing it all onto the front lawn. "You're a liar and a thief. You don't belong here," I begged. I crawled. I cried. But she slammed the door and told the gatekeeper not to let me back in. And just like that, I was homeless. I walked for hours that day on crutches in pain, with nothing but my sketches and my mother's pendant around my neck. I found an old truck parked in a lot and climbed inside, curling up beside a wooden board. That night, I whispered to myself, "Tomorrow will be better." It wasn't. I woke up in a different city. The truck had moved. I didn't even know where I was. I tried to buy food with the little change I had, but the prices had gone up. I was turned away like a beggar. I asked for jobs at shops, kiosks, anywhere. They laughed. One man looked me up and down and said, "You can't even walk straight. How are you going to work?" That one stung. I forced a smile, but my heart split open inside. That evening, I sat by the roadside sketchbook open, trying to escape into my designs just to forget how empty my stomach felt. A gust of wind came out of nowhere, snatched the pages from my hand, and scattered them across the road. I panicked, ran after them, limped between traffic, ignoring horns and shouts, grabbing paper after paper. A black SUV screeched to a stop inches away. A man stepped out well-dressed, tall, serious. He picked up one of my sketches and looked at it for a long second. "These yours?" he asked. "Yes," I said, barely breathing. "They're beautiful." He handed them back, reached into his pocket. "Take this," he said, holding out some bills. "I can't. It's not pity. It's appreciation." I took it. He left, but he didn't forget me. A week later, he came back, found me sitting behind my tiny display of secondhand clothes on the sidewalk. I was sketching like always. "I'm Adrian," he said. "You probably don't remember me, I do." He didn't waste time. Told me he was the head of a fashion empire, that he'd seen hundreds of designs in his life but couldn't stop thinking about mine. "I want to hire you," he said. I laughed. "I don't sew. I barely walk." "I don't need a seamstress," he replied. "I need vision. And you've got it." I stared at him, this billionaire standing on a dirty sidewalk offering me a future. I said yes, and everything changed. He gave me a studio, a small apartment, tools I never dreamed of. I worked like a woman, possessed design after design, sketches turned to fabric, fabric turned to magic. My collection was chosen to headline the World Fashion Show in Milan. Me, Mariah, the homeless cripple who used to draw by streetlight. The night my name was announced on the runway, a man watching from a run-down motel room dropped his pen. It was my father. He saw me walk down that stage with both legs. Adrian had paid for the surgeries. He'd believed in me when no one else had. My father searched for me for months, found me after Adrian proposed. Yeah, Adrian asked me to marry him in front of everyone. I said yes. But before I could even process the moment, I saw my dad standing at the back of the room. He fell to his knees, crying. I believed her lies. "I let you go. I'm sorry." I hugged him. "I forgive you, Dad." And I meant it. At the wedding, he walked me down the aisle just like Mama would have wanted. As for Sylvia, her baby daddy left her once the money ran out. She's raising that child alone now, and I don't wish her pain. But I hope she remembers the girl she kicked out every time she hears my name on TV. So tell me, who was right? The stepmother who judged by weakness or the man who saw past the crutches? Have you ever been underestimated because of how you looked or where you came from? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every one of them. And hey, if this story meant something to you, share it. Someone out there might be standing at their own locked gate right now, and they need to hear that tomorrow can be better.